see you guys in just over a minute. Have fun. We'll see you guys in just over a minute. Have fun. For our next game, but still a good ZVT there by Hiromu. Unfortunately, Koga a little bit too strong, did manage to take him out there, but certainly a fun game and certainly one I'd recommend to watch if you want to see a Terran holding on pretty well and then going for that counter. If you need to learn how to play Terran and you want to follow a foreign player, Koga is a very, very good choice for that. He plays quite standard, doesn't do anything too crazy. Of course, the others, Dandy and Terra, are pretty good to watch as well, but Koga, I believe, actually talks a lot during his stream too. So he's been streaming a little bit less recently, just because he has recently become a father again, but still a great stream to check out, so do give that a look if you ever have a chance. And now let's actually head on and introduce our next players. Okay, so here we go, starting for 9th team here in our second game. We're going to have their Terran ace in the hole. It's going to be roegi. Now, roegi was the player who took down one of the best Protoss players in the league with Bio in round 1. I can't remember who his opponent was, it was a while ago. But he did go 1 for 4 in the last round, but still did a pretty good job for his team. Was one of the more active players. I did say Foreign Brood weren't too active. They did lose a lot of games to walkovers, so unfortunately for them, that didn't go too well. But roegi in a better position this round. He's 1 for 0 at the moment. He's actually lost against 2 Terrans so far, and Radley, his opponent for Net Wars, a fairly strong TBTer, doesn't play the most standard of games. I would say Radley is probably one of the least standard Terrans ever. He doesn't do cheese necessarily, he just likes his ghosts, especially in TBT. He was in my game yesterday, or in my stream even, talking about how cost-effective the ghost was in TBT. So if we get to that point, we could have a very, very interesting TBT coming up here, folks. So Radley went 2 for 1 last round, did a very good job for his team. He actually has another win. He played as Protoss, he's played as Zerg, and here he is back on Terran again. Oh no, okay, it was against Goody. My bad, thank you Creative, you probably checked the thread, didn't you? Okay, well, Goody was a pretty good player back then, so either way, let's have a look. Radley 1 for 1 at the moment this round. His one loss, he was actually playing Zerg. Huge thank you to all the follows that are coming in. But let's have a look at what map they're going to be playing on. Now, this is the oldest map in the pool from 2007. It's a 2-player map called Hitchhiker. Now, I think we're going to go to a fairly long TVT here, actually. Now, if you have a look at the map dynamics, you have the mains in the top left and bottom right-hand corners. There is like a winding path going around the outside of the map, going past a mineral only, going up to a semi-island base so you can break through the side disruptors to get to, and you wind around again to a gas base in the bottom left. But as you can see, there's actually stacked temples in between that pathway and the main, so it makes it very difficult to push through there early on. And now the only other way through the map is down the bottom of the ramp at the main. There is the natural expansion. It's a little bit exposed, going to be very good for drops to come in, especially in a TBT. But there is a very, very thin path leading through the middle of the map, and it's going to be so hard for either of our Terran players to break through. It's round 4, week 4, day 1, Net Wars versus 9th Team, roegi versus Radley. Let's get into our TBT of today. And here we go, starting off in the bottom right-hand position. We do have our Teal Terran on the map for Net Wars. It's going to be Radley, playing as Terran this time. And his opponent spawning up here in the bottom, or in the top left-hand position. We do have his opponent fighting for 9th Team on Hitchhiker. It's the purple Terran, roegi. Now I know a lot of you may be thinking TBT, well TBT is very boring, I don't want to watch this, but don't go anywhere. I am certain with these two players, if you ever wanted to see the most insane foreign TBT possible, these are the two players to watch. Like Radley, a huge fan of ghosts, roegi, a huge fan of early aggression. Is Radley going to be able to hold on early game? Are they both going to go for macro games? And are we going to see some nukes? Now, just to give you an example of a game Radley played in round 1 against Sai, who we did see in the first round. He did play against Cold on New Empire of the Sun. It was a TBC. The game ended with the Zerg player having no drones and 1 base, and Terran having lost every other base on the map and floated to both the islands. And there was about 6 nukes in that game as well. And if you have a look at the intro that I sometimes play in between the games, you'll see that there's a clip in there from round the playoffs where I just put all the nukes in there. But yeah, this should be a fairly interesting situation here. Both of them going for a fairly standard build now. Both of them are going for this gas early on. A little bit harder to do a 1-Rax FE here. And this is going to be the moment where you're going to see just how thin this path is going through the middle of the map. I did mention this before, but you can see here, this is just the smallest choke in the world. It makes it very difficult to engage through these tight corridors. And both players going to be looking to really do what they can off the back of this. Now, is roegi going to play super aggressive? Is he going to go for a quick fact, a quick 2-fact, quick 3-fact vultures? What is Radley's plan as well? We'll have to find out as we move deeper into this game. Now, Radley actually delaying his second supply depot a little bit longer to get his factory a bit faster. But roegi already with a little bit of SCV harass, just trying to do what it can, try to delay the factory any way it can, as his factory did come up a little bit later. He did get his supply depot quicker though, so Radley could find himself a little bit supply blocked, maybe not, because he did have a little bit of a lull in that while he was trying to defend his SCV. And his factory did get delayed ever so slightly, the SCV was pulled off, and you can see that roegi has caught his way back up. Now, one thing is to point out with what Radley just said in chat. Nuke are the most cost-effective units just after Ghosts. The trouble is they do take 6 supply, and you cannot get a comsat on those buildings. So we will have Radley returning back to base with his SCV. That's going to be a 1 SCV advantage for him. roegi building his command center as well. Now, Radley hasn't actually opted to expand yet. He's building a supply depot and an armory. Now, is he going to do something funky here? He's going for a couple of vultures, possibly going for a very early push. There's no hidden proxies or anything by him. He just seems to be neglecting expanding for some reason. Now, is this going to work out for him? Are we going to see a quick game here? 2 vultures against no vultures. There's actually a machine chop coming first. And this could be fairly dangerous. Now, it looks like Radley is going to build his command center. That's actually going to help wall off this area as well. But neither player really opting to build the command center on the low ground, but Radley with the good micro, not taking too much damage here, getting one of the Marines, going to be able to get into the main as well, but there's a lot of damage, so always going to snipe the SCV on the command center. No, he's not. Yes, he is, and he's going to delay this as long as he can, and roegi's taking a lot of damage. This is the problem with skipping the Vulture. The tank finally does come up. That will stop any further tank or Vulture aggression, just by virtue of sitting on the bank, but on the ramp even. We've got +1 attack immediately coming in for Radley here. So Radley looking to take this into the late game. We do of course have the armory coming up for roegi as well. Very important to get that armory around 5 minutes. Just to make sure you don't die to wraiths, because it's very, very easy to die to them. They may do like 8 damage a shot against SCVs, but it does add up. And the more wraiths that come into the game, the harder it is. Now we do have roegi scouting with his barracks. Of course, Radley will be doing the same thing. This will see this command center. It should see it landing by the time it gets there. Now Radley adding his second factory on. We have the second factory coming on for roegi as well. But we have the starport coming in here for roegi. Is this going to be where the builds diverge? Nope. Kind of mirror builds, not exactly. Of course, roegi is already mining on his second base. Got this gas coming up as well, and he has already got a Goliath, but oh my god, this could be so funny if this landed first. That would just be horrible for Radley, but looks like it's not going to happen. Radley going to go and land. He needs to be careful not to block that, because I've certainly done that. Here we go. He is going to start mining, transferring his SCV, so pretty much the perfect time. Maybe a little bit slower than he could have done. But Radley is, of course, eventually going to lose this barracks, so that's one of the annoying things for him. Going to take a long time for Radley to kill roegi's barracks, but still, looks like both of them playing fairly standard. Now, is he going to go for a science facility already? Because this is the sort of thing that Radley would do. The early +1, the reason behind this, I would say, is so when he gets the science facility, it's not going to look dodgy. Because you do want to go for that early +2 as soon as you can. +2 attack, of course, does mean that siege tanks only take 2 shots rather than 3 to kill enemy siege tanks, even with +1 armor. So very, very important to get that +2 attack. Now, is Radley going to hide a base, or is this to hide something? I really want to follow this SCV just so I don't miss any extra buildings, but I get the feeling we are going to see a science facility being added. Possibly even a command center down here as well. Get that early third gas. Going to be a very long time before we see either player really opting to go for dropships here. We do, of course, have roegi going for dropships, so ignore everything I just said. But still, this SCV is being very cheeky. It is going to try and hide this base. Whether or not it's going to work, I'm not too sure. But as I did mention before, going to be very, very difficult to ever really push through the front. So dropships going to be insanely, insanely important. And finally we do see some scans. This third command center going up immediately for Radley. You see roegi building a lot of supply depots just out in the middle of the map, making sure he's got enough vision to scout for those drops. Drops, of course, very, very powerful on this map, even adding a depot down here. I'd just like to point out roegi's vision. Great map vision for him. Now, Radley, unfortunately, does not have any vision over his natural high ground, and I think this is where those units are going to go. Now, he's moving a SCV up here, but it may be a little bit too late. Now the scan comes in. Does Radley see this? This is going to be 2 tanks, 3 tanks, 2 Goliaths, and there's absolutely nothing in here to defend. Now, how on earth is he going to hold on to this? The tanks are going to be firing up on the high ground. Is he going to be able to do it? Looks like he got one of the Goliaths at least, but he's just out of... Oh, that's actually really, really nice attacking by Radley. Going to clean this up. Absolutely no problem, actually. And great, great usage of that siege tank range. Now, this one siege tank doing a lot of damage, but this will be cleaned up as well. Great repairing by Radley there, and really mitigating that damage. I'm really, really impressed by that. Now, is Radley going to go for this Vespene geyser straight away? Of course, that is going to give him a big gas advantage early on, but the later the game goes, the harder it's going to be for him to really do too much. Now, still, oh, we do have a science facility. There's no covert ops, but he's getting +2 attack already. Roegi, of course, still going to be very low down on attack. He probably only just finished +1 attack. No, +1 attack only halfway done, so the upgrade advantage really going to come into play here by Radley. Now, all Radley has to do is hold on against these drops. Roegi is sending a lot of units on these, and so far he's not really been able to do too much. And a great defensive positioning here by Radley, going to allow him to actually get away with this. Wow, the SCV sniper, 1 kill for him. This tank going to go down as well. Now, he should just leave the SCVs to kill it, because he may lose a tank, but no, there we go. Upgrade advantage really coming into play here. Now, does Roegi have a 3rd command center yet? No, he doesn't. When is he going to expand? Is he going all in off of these 2 bases? Because if he is, unfortunately for him, it's just simply not working. Now, there is a droppable cliff here. There's actually a droppable cliff up here as well. I don't think this is a cliff even. This is like a bit you can hide behind. I bet he could actually drop tanks here. It would be very, very difficult to oust them out. But if you haven't seen this map before as well, there are power generators that are creating these semi-barriers, stopping you from really pushing through. You can see they create this S-bend, which we saw Radley run through before. Not really too much going on. Looks like Radley is going to look to try and take another base, possibly at his mineral only. Maybe even choosing to go for that. Now, Roegi's doing a good job. He's dropped some units back here. Gonna try and secure this semi-island base. This is one of the only other, or this is the only other gas base on Radley's side of the map. I mean, I've never actually thought about stack repairing, but genuinely not too sure. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it. It's so much of a pain to do. It's not really worth it. But I'm going to say it's not allowed just because stack attacking isn't, and it's similar mechanics. So either way, Radley back here going for 5 factories. He's still... Oh, there we go. Look at this, guys. You may not have seen this in Remaster, but it is the covert ops. And that means we are going to have a very interesting game. One of the dropships from Roegi going down with some units in. And Roegi being completely caught off guard each time by these defensive tanks. It's 2 attack on these siege tanks. A great counter drop by Radley. And Radley looks like he's trying to clean up his way through to this semi-island base. Does clean up the 2 tanks there. But great moves by Radley. But this... Wait, where's the... Oh, here we go. There's no ghosts yet. I was going to say this is the true story, the real story here. But no nuke silo, no ghosts on the way just yet. But they certainly will be coming that way soon. Oh, great usage of those Goliaths. Gonna scout out some of those wraiths that were being used as anti-dropship play. But not working out. Interesting, Roegi still hasn't expanded. He's still working off the back of these 2 bases. He has his science facility. +2 attack coming in for him as well. But when is he going to expand? He can't stay on 2 bases forever. Radley is getting more and more ahead. Now here we go. Ghosts are on the way. Is there going to be a nuke silo? Come on, Radley. You know what to do. You know what to make me excited. Build that nuke. Build the nukes. You need that nuke silo to get those nukes, Radley, and they're the most effective unit in the game. And here we go. Looks like Roegi is finally going to expand. Going to ignore that mineral only. But he's going to have to be careful. The one fun thing I find really funny is Radley isn't actually opting to ever go attack. He just wants to win with nukes, I'm fairly certain. Now it's going to be a while before he can get Cloak. It looks like that's going to be Ghost Energy, I believe it is. It does give them more Cloak energy for cloaking when there's nukes coming in. Now Radley, of course, has 4 dropships. He's doing a great job of working his way through. He's going to take this gas base again. Should see him really try and go for some drops, but I think he's mainly waiting for nukes. And I'm still waiting for this. I want this to come down. I don't know if he's got a hidden command center somewhere for this, but we do have that energy nearly done. That may even be sight range. Oh man, Radley, come on, you need to build a command center with a nuke silo somewhere. But here we go. Looks like Radley gonna slowly work his way through these temples, or at least kill the spotting depot. Now, this is a double-edged sword. If he does break through there, he has to defend it. And unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to. Just because there's not actually that many units over here. Roegi looks to be taking his own base. You can hear scans going off all the time. Now, interestingly, that supply blocked roegi. Now, Radley, man. Come on. You need the... Cloak must be done already. Like, he's got 6 ghosts, a lot of Goliaths, and absolutely nothing to nuke with. Oh, it looks like we're gonna have a little bit of an engagement over here by the Zelnaga temples. Now, of course, Radley does have that upgrade advantage. I think it may have worn off now, but he did get the first shot. He was defending, so he had the first siege. Oh, no. I keep thinking I'm seeing the nuke silo, and I'm not. So I'm getting disappointed here, Radley. If you let me down, if this game ends without a nuke, I don't know what I'm going to say, because... Here we are. It's coming. The nuclear silo. And the nuclear silo. He's going for 2 nukes at once. That's going to be 12 supply worth of nukes, but it's certainly going to be worth it for me. Side Disruptors being taken out over here. They do have a lot of health. And roegi's going to be able to take this base. Radley finally taking his mineral-only third. And with, like, the trouble is, we're in a bit of a stalemate. Ah, okay. To cloak and place lockdown, because here's the lockdown upgrade. Good choice by Radley. Another couple of armories coming in. He's going to go battle cruisers off the back of this, I believe. That's going to be for air upgrades. It's not going to be for anything crazy. Now, of course, both players are still at a bit of a stalemate. Radley with a huge advantage. He's actually up by 40 supply at the moment against his opponent. But he's not choosing to attack. He wants to win with style. This is Radley all over. He's building turrets absolutely everywhere. Now, back at home, we have Cloak coming in for Wraiths. There's no physics lab for roegi, though. We're not going to see those units, but he is getting ship upgrades. Wouldn't surprise me if this ends TBT. Oh, and here we go. This is a nice move by Radley, getting in between the units. Is he going to be able to siege up first? Yes, he is. And this is a great moment for Radley, as he is going to be able to deny the space for now. Great ferrying over of the units, but great target firing so far by these tanks. And Radley's tanks just don't have the vision. Finally, a scan goes down, but very well handled there by roegi. But he does lose his command center. That's very annoying. But he's at least defended. Now, you can see the difference in playstyle. You can see turrets lining every single part of this map for Radley. He's even got a turret over here. Going to be very difficult for anything to happen. Cloak finishing up for the ghosts. Now, are we going to see this lift and go for ship upgrades? Or is he going to stick with ghosts for now? The ship upgrades could be a little bit of a thing. Now, here we go. He's actually opted to leave the Zelnaga temples there, and he's pushing through. I'm worried we're not going to see a ghost here with a lockdown or a nuclear launch, but Radley's just looking to slowly push his way through. He's trying to deny this base, trying to deny the command center, forcing another engineering bay to be added on, and roegi is just stuck in a fairly awful position. Now, we do have 5 wraiths at a time coming up from roegi. He doesn't really have the position to really deal with this. Now, is there a ghost in this? Yes, there is. Ghosts are absolutely everywhere. Oh my god, 5 ghosts in 1 dropship. Oh man. He's not going to nuke this, because he's going to kill it with tanks. He's shown his ghosts. Oh, here we go. The wraiths are coming in. Is he going to lock down these wraiths? It looks like he's going to try and take down this. There we go. The first lockdown is down. Second, third lockdown. Fourth lockdown. Is there going to be another one? Yes, there is. That's 5. And these ghosts are going to be able to clean up absolutely everything. But there's that one wraith doing what it can. Ghosts don't actually do that much damage. Only 10 per shot. And slowly but surely, these lockdowns are going to wear off. But a great usage of lockdown. And there we go. Finally, the last wraith is going to go down. And this is such a good usage of that spell. Good usage of the ghost by Radley. And roegi's ace in the hole has unfortunately backfired, as he does no longer have any units to really deal with this. Now, he's trying to clean it up, but this is too many 3-0 tanks against 2-0. That's not going to be enough for him. GG! We didn't quite see a nuke, unfortunately, but we did see some sick lockdowns, and that is worth it for me. So good game by Radley, good game by roegi as well, of course, but Radley pipping him to the post at the end of the day. So, I mean, that was a pretty good game by both of those. I believe that actually went on for quite a while as well, so I'm not even sure what time it is anymore. It's actually 10 past 11, and that's, or sorry, 10 past 10 even in the UK. That's going to lead us on to our third game of the series. I'm going to quickly report the previous one, bring up the intro, and I will see you guys in just over a minute. See you guys soon.
What I want you to want, what I want you to feel, but it's like